Welcome, my beautiful people, to This Week in Review. I'm going to get right into it. And today's question comes from Instagram. And it is Diana Zambrano. She asked, Fernando, you're constantly talking about Europe and Colombia, but are there any other South American countries that you recommend and that are different than the norm? I don't know what the norm is, but I am going to give you a country that that I believe you should visit. It's a country that's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's English speaking in South America, and the country I'm talking about is Belize. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why to go to Belize, but before I do, watch this video from my sponsor.
With its unique blend of influences from all over the world, Belize is the perfect destination to explore on your next vacation. Located on the northeastern coast of Central America, with the Caribbean Sea to the east and Guatemala to the south, Belize possesses an abundance of ecosystems that feature diverse wildlife and rich cultural traditions. Getting to Belize is only part of the adventure. Commercial flights fly daily to the airport just minutes from Belize City. If arriving by ship, Belize is known as a tender port, which means it has a shallow coast. So, your cruise ship will stay out in the ocean, and a smaller boat, known as a tender, will bring you on a short ferry ride to shore. Once on land, there are plenty of different ways to get around. Horse-drawn carriage tours and guided bus tours bring you all around Belize, with many stops along the way to do some shopping, grab a local snack, or discover some history at the Museum of Belize. Diving and snorkeling adventures await the eager traveler. With 130 miles of protected waters, the beautiful Barrier Reef provides ample opportunity to catch a glimpse of stunning coral, staggering underwater canyons, and vibrant sea life of all forms. Or if swimming with sharks and rays is more your speed, you're in the right place here. There's a level of adventure perfect for any visitor. Jungle tours highlight Belize's beautiful landscape and exotic animals. From toucans to howler monkeys and all sorts of species in between, animal lovers will marvel at the many different eco-tour opportunities. And if you prefer to see the rainforest from above, take a zipline adventure instead. Then explore the many cave tours throughout Belize, which the Mayans regarded as a sacred underworld and home to many powerful gods. And speaking of the Mayans, you can see the authentic sites and ruins of the Mayan civilization, like Caracol, and even visit with Mayan guides that are direct descendants of the Mayan people. Learn how their culture has been shaped over the years. Belize offers beautiful, relaxing beaches, exciting cave tours, plentiful wildlife, lush landscape, inviting locals, and will quench any traveler's thirst for adventure.
All right, welcome back. Here are 10 reasons why, or 10 things you need to consider when going to Belize. First of all, Belize, like I mentioned, is an English-speaking country. It has some of the most beautiful beaches. But here's some of the things that you need to take into account. Number one of the reasons why I like Belize is because Belize, you don't need a you don't need a visa to go there. So whether you're Colombian, Costa Rican, Mexican, a U.S. citizen, you can go there without needing a visa. There are a couple of things that you do need to take into account. For example, make sure that when you travel to Belize, you're caught up on your shots. You know, it's the dengue fever and Zika it's a mosquito-borne diseases that are prevalent there. So if you're susceptible to that, just be mindful of that. The currency there is the Brazilian or the Belize dollar, or their version of the dollar, which it's sold under the BZD code. But the U.S. dollar is used there frequently, or it's commonly used there. If you're going to go there, understand the transportation in some of the most popular areas is easy, but some places it's not going to be. When it comes to accommodations, here's why I like Belize as well. Belize has, especially in the last 5 to 6 years, you have a lot of new resorts in Belize, a lot of new hotels in Belize that you can take advantage of today that when I first went there, now I think it's been 15 years ago, didn't exist. There's been a lot of investments in tourism in Belize. So you're going to stay, you can find some 5-star accommodations and you can find some cheaper accommodations there. Whatever your heart desires, you're going to be able to find in Belize. Safety, right? Safety is a concern. Belize was in the back, several years now, but Belize did have some issues with crime. And just like any other place you go to, doesn't matter where you go, whether you're going to Miami, LA, New York, some places in South America, just use common sense, people. Stay in the regular areas. Don't wander off the beaten path, and you're going to be fine in terms of safety. But here's the meat and potato. Here's why I want you to go to Belize. Number one is because of its beauty. The nature there is insane. Still has a lot of what I refer to as virgin area. If you like to dive, if you like to snorkel, if you like water sports, Belize is your country. That's where you should go. There's the Belize Barrier Reef, and also the Great Blue Hole. Phenomenal places. Now, if you're not into, or that's something that you're not into, they also have a very diverse rainforest. There's a lot to do in that rainforest, a lot to see. It's something you can't miss. Now, there's a couple things that you need to know when you go to Belize. Number one is make sure, just like anywhere else, when you go to a foreign country, respect the culture, people. There's certain things you shouldn't do. So, for example, if you're visiting religious sites, dress accordingly, right? When you're going to, for example, if you're diving, if you're going to the rainforest, don't be that guy to take stuff that you shouldn't be taking, or touching stuff that you shouldn't be touching, or throwing garbage or polluting stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Be respectful when you're there, but also be respectful of the customs. And here's a big one. Don't take pictures of people without asking permission. I'm going to say that again because I don't, certain places, and Belize being one of them, if you're going to take a picture of the locals there, please ask permission before you do that. Then the last thing we're going to talk about in reference to Belize is the food. In Belize, there's a fusion of Caribbean, Mexican, African, and Mayan flavors in the way they cook. So, it's part of the Caribbean. It's near the water. So seafood is probably some of the best seafoods you're going to have. So I highly recommend you eat some of their seafood. But their chicken stew, their rice and beans, and fried jacks, and the fresh seafood there is phenomenal. So anyways, I hope I answered that question. If I didn't, please re-ask the question or ask me to expand on that, or better yet, buy me a coffee and let's have a discussion about Belize. So let's move on and let's go to, today I'm going to start with booking sources before I go into revenue. One quick second. Okay, so in terms of booking sources, Airbnb came in number one at 54.6%. Booking.com came in number two at 22.9%. We came in third at 12.2%. Then you have HomeAway at 5.5%. Marriott came in at 4.1%. And then 1.2% is other. Let's see how that breaks down in terms of actual revenue, right? Airbnb came in at 29,000. We came in second in terms of revenue at 15,000. Then it was Verbal at almost 4,000, and then Booking.com came in at 5,000. So this is a great example as to why I'm breaking it down this way. Let's go back to the booking sources, right? I mentioned that we came in third at 12.2% in terms of the total all bookings. But this is why I decided to give you the actual revenue source, because even though we came in third in terms of overall revenue, we came in second. You know, Airbnb came in first in terms of booking, and they came in first in terms of revenue. But we, although we were in third, we came in first in terms of revenue. This is why oftentimes, or this is why I decided to give you these numbers, both in terms of revenue and in terms of booking source, because it doesn't matter if I get 80% of my bookings come from, let's say, HomeAway, if the majority of my money comes from my booking source. Anyways, that's just something that was kind of interesting. Now, overall numbers, right? For this week, overall numbers, we made 57,000. We had 309 nights booked. Our occupancy rate, it's at 73.2. Again, my magic number is 75, so we're not quite there, but we're close enough that I'm not too worried about it. The average daily rate is at $186, and our RevPAR is at 136. Now, if you remember my RevPAR numbers from last week and my average daily rate from last week, not much has changed. Again, we're in that part of the season in which we're pretty much stable in terms of our revenue. The nights booked are a little higher this week, but only because now we're going into summer months and people are starting to book our June and July and August months. So if you're planning to come to South Florida or any of our properties during the summer, please do yourself a big favor and start booking now, because especially July gets sold out very quickly. And if you book now, you can take advantage of the early bird discounts that we give, especially if you book directly. So there's two places where we give discounts. On Airbnb for early bird bookings, and that is if you book 3 months in advance, you're going to get on Airbnb it's 15%. But if you book with us, you get that 15% discount for booking 3 months in advance. Plus, you're going to save that 14% booking fees that Airbnb charges. So it's a big savings if you book in advance. So let's move on and let's talk about our staffing. Nothing has changed with our staffing. There was no actual problems this week, thank God. No issues this week. And our project progress. The only thing we really have going on now, as I mentioned last week, we have two things going on. We're still working on the Georgia project. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll get to see the grapevines are finally flourishing. They're blooming. I'm super excited about that. In about 2 weeks, we're going to do another video of our grapevines. And by then, there should be a lot more green. And hopefully, I think our harvest is going to be in May, but that's down the road. But in terms of our Georgia property, two big things that we did. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but in our Georgia property, we have a shooting range. Now, the shooting range is not for our guests. It's really for personal use and for friends and family to use. But we built it out. It looks phenomenal. If you want to see it, again, you have to subscribe to my Instagram, because I post some of the pictures of that shooting range on my Instagram. So super excited about that, but that's a side note because it has nothing to do with my business. In terms of, the other thing that we're still working on, which is our project progress, is our optimizations of our short-term rentals that we've been hired to do, or we've been commissioned to optimize certain short-term rentals. As you can tell, I'm not home. I'm traveling again, and I'm going to be traveling all the way until May. Our next stop is going to be Puerto Rico, where we're going to be doing an optimization on, there's two properties there, but one in specific, which is a beautiful condo in El Condado that we're going to be optimizing. We'll be posting pictures on that. Plus, we'll also be doing some travel tips to Puerto Rico coming up, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you want us to optimize your Airbnb, go ahead and DM me, buy me a coffee, let's have that discussion, because again, we're going to be traveling. And if you want to save money on our fees, now's the time to do it, because if I can squeeze you in on one of our travel or itineraries and some of the places I'm going to be traveling to, then you'll save on some of the travel cost. Anyway, hope this information was useful. If it was, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed. Buy me a coffee if you want to have a discussion with me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.